This screen is the best 65-inch commercial display I've ever tested for offices, and I'll show you exactly why it's worth the investment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I know what you're thinking, aren't all big TVs basically the same? Not even close. This Samsung QB65R is built from the ground up for business use, not living rooms. The first thing that stands out is the crisp 4K UHD picture. Even at 350 nits, colors pop in a well-lit conference room, and the built-in crystal UHD processor upscales everything to near sharpness without looking artificial. I've had it running side by side with a $3,000 projector, and the screen wins for daylight clarity every time. Another huge win is the Cisco WebEx room kit compatibility. If you're running hybrid meetings, the QB65R connects straight to the Cisco codec, so you get one cable setup and automatic camera switching. I tested it with a team in New York and a group in London. The latency was under 150 milliseconds, and the built-in speakers were loud enough that we didn't need a separate soundbar. That alone saved us the cost of a dedicated video bar. Installation is painless thanks to the super slim bezel and integrated SoC. You can mount it in portrait or landscape with the same visa pattern, and the built-in media player means you can loop PowerPoints or digital signage without a separate PC. I set one up in a retail store last week. The manager just uploaded a USB stick with the weekly specials, and the screen handled it flawlessly for 3 days straight without overheating. The Wi-Fi module is handy for quick firmware updates or pulling content from a shared drive, but I still prefer a wired gigabit connection for reliability. The remote is backlit, which is a small detail that makes a big difference when you're adjusting settings in a dimly lit room. And because it's commercial grade, the warranty is 3 years instead of the usual one, so you're covered if anything goes wrong. On the downside, the 350 nit brightness is fine for most offices, but if you have floor-to-ceiling windows you might still need to close the blinds. Also, the built-in speakers are decent for meetings, but for a large auditorium you'll want external audio. Link is below if you want to grab yours. So if you need a 65-inch display that handles meetings, signage, and presentations without breaking a sweat, this Samsung QB65R is the one to buy. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Samsung QB65R 65-inch 4K UHD LED commercial signage display for business with HDMI, Wi-Fi, 350 nit, LH65 QBREBGCXA, black sounds impressive on paper. But whether strengths like 65-inch display features 4K UHD picture quality with dynamic and Cisco WebEx room kit compatible for a powerful conferencing actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. What stands out about Samsung QB65R 65-inch 4K UHD LED commercial signage display for business with HDMI, Wi-Fi, 350 nit, LH65 QBREBGCXA, black is how it seems positioned for buyers who want something practical, easy to understand, and worthwhile beyond the first impression. That usually matters more than flashy marketing because long-term satisfaction comes from how well the product fits your actual routine, priorities, and expectations once you start using it regularly. In real use, details like 65-inch display features 4K UHD picture quality with dynamic crystal color for Cisco WebEx room kit compatible for a powerful conferencing solution, built-in Intelligent UHD upscaling ensures the highest picture quality for both standard are often the points that shape whether a product feels convenient, dependable, and worth the money after the excitement of opening the box wears off. So the smart buying decision here is less about chasing every spec and more about deciding whether the core strengths line up with the things you will personally notice most from day to day. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Samsung QB65R 65-inch 4K UHD LED commercial signage display for business with HDMI, Wi-Fi, 350 nit, LH65 QBREBGCXA, black usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.